Madison. My name is Ann Immig, and I want to welcome you to Listen to Your Mother 2011. What started a year ago here at the Barrymore, 12 mothers reading their own writing aloud in a community celebration of motherhood, launched a national Mother's Day movement. Last weekend, Austin, Texas, and Los Angeles listened to their mothers, and this weekend, Northwest Indiana, Madison, and Spokane, Washington listened to ours. Today we celebrate the stories of Beauty and the Beast and the barely rested of motherhood, and the fact that someone else is watching our children for the next 90 minutes. We're taking Mother's Day beyond brunch, people. It's time. Before we begin, I want to thank our national media sponsor, Blog Her. Listen to Your Mother is born of blogging, of women who create online, and Blog Her is an amazing organization that supports women online through a website, advertising network, and annual conferences. I also want to thank our local sponsors for helping create our Madison Listen to Your Mother show. The Century House designed the ladies in waiting area you see upstage and provided rehearsal space. Happy Bambino lent us their classrooms for auditions. Justina of Funky Monkey Photography, who has shot beautiful photos of my kids in the past, offered to shoot our show today. And Lakeside Press helped sponsor our programs. Thank you also to the Purple Goose, one of my favorite clothing and gift boutiques, for their sponsorship. Make sure to stop by the Support Our Local Sponsors table in the lobby after the show. There's no intermission in today's production. Also, please no flash photography. So sit back, turn off your cell phones, and listen. Our first reader today is Sara Ward-Cassady. In the last 4.5 years, Sara Ward-Cassady has fallen in love with her husband, Colin, gotten married, given birth to her daughter, Erin, bought a house, and convinced her parents to move from Minneapolis to Madison. This piece represents the first time in 4.5 years that she has had any time to write or even to think. She wants to thank her mother, Cindy, for being the mom she listens to. Sara is reading Confessions of a Cribaholic. Welcome, Sara.
I have a confession to make. I didn't mean for it to happen, but it did. To get my daughter to go to sleep, I got in the crib with her. I was so tired and I just wanted her to go to sleep. Our 19-month-old daughter, Erin, was in a particularly bad sleep phase where she would wake up in the middle of the night and it would take hours to get her to go back to sleep. I'd been flirting with the idea for a week, and one night I finally did it. I jumped in the crib with her. Erin was just starting another round of screaming, and I thought, forget it, I'm doing it. And you know what happened? She went to sleep. And the whole time I was laying in the crib, I kept thinking, I can't believe this is working. And hey, this crib mattress is really comfortable. And I wonder how much weight this crib can take. And after 10 minutes of being in the crib with her, Erin was sound asleep. I carefully sat up, hoisting myself over the side rail, and Erin slept on. And I thought, okay, that was a one-time thing, not a good habit to start. But the next night, after only 20 minutes of trying to get Erin to sleep, I jumped in the crib again. And boom, asleep. In one night, I had cut down the get back to sleep routine from 2 hours to 30 minutes, but it was shameful. The next morning, my husband Colin asked me how I got Erin to go back to sleep so fast, and rather than admit my shameful secret, I said, I don't know, she just did it. I felt bad for lying, but I certainly couldn't tell anyone I was actually climbing in the crib with my baby. What would people say? How would I be judged as a mother? Over breakfast with some girlfriends a few days later, when they asked me how Erin's sleeping problems were going, I casually said, fine, since I started jumping in the crib with her. Silence. You what? I just jumped in the crib with her. One friend burst out laughing and admitted she'd dreamed about doing the same thing, and one looked at me like I was crazy. Not a bad reaction, but not really a rousing show of support either. This went on for a few weeks, and every time I jumped in the crib, I thought, I have to stop doing this. But sleep is like a drug. You find a way to get your kid to sleep, and all those well-supported sleep solutions just go right out the window. I haven't read every major sleep book cover to cover, but I'm pretty sure that the one thing the no-cry sleep solution, the Ferber method, and the happiest baby on the block would agree on is that jumping in the crib with your baby is not the best way to train them to sleep. I vowed to stop. That weekend, I couldn't get Erin to nap, and as I laid her down, she said, "Mama, get in crib." Not only is it hard to resist that cute little voice, but I was tired, and honestly, a nap sounded good. I jumped in the crib. Colin was out running errands, so I had some time to hide my secret. About an hour later, I opened my eyes to see Colin standing over the crib, holding the video baby monitor with an incredulous look on his face. Busted. I slowly inched my way out of the crib, and he said, "That's how you've been getting her to go to sleep?" Then he said, "That's not fair. I can't do that. I'm too big. What am I supposed to do?" Fair statement, but tough. It's every man for himself. A few weeks later, we headed to Florida to see Colin's family, and when we arrived, I looked at the pack and play Erin would be sleeping in. I thought, well, this is it. We're gonna go cold turkey. I bounced and rocked and bounced and rocked, and finally Erin said it, "Mama, get in crib." I anxiously looked around, panicking. I couldn't do it. Look at that pack and play. No way an adult and a baby could fit in there. But as Erin cried again, "Mama, get in crib," I did it. I wedged myself into the pack and play. The whole thing creaked and rocked as I contorted my body to fit around Erin. And then I heard the living room go silent. And I remembered. Colin had the video baby monitor out in the living room. His whole family could see it. Oh my God. They could all see me in the pack and play. What was I thinking? What would they say about me? After Erin fell asleep, I dragged myself out of the pack and play, praying the bottom didn't drop out of the whole thing. I walked out to the living room expecting a chorus of questions, and then I saw it. Colin had left the baby monitor in the kitchen, and no one had seen it. The silence I had heard was either coincidence or my guilty conscience, but either way, they didn't see me in the pack and play. After that night, I decided I really did need to cut this off. But that was 2 months ago, and I confess, I haven't stopped getting in the crib. I know it's not the right way to handle this particular challenge, but I don't care. With only a few years of motherhood under my belt, I think the hardest lesson I've learned is that you can't always get your answers from a book, and sometimes you just have to do what works. And really, how much longer do I have to snuggle with my little baby before she doesn't want me there anymore? I've ceased to care about what I might be doing wrong and have just given into the pure bliss of holding my baby and the pure bliss of an almost full night's sleep. So if you stop by my house some afternoon and you can't find me, check the video monitor. I might be napping in my crib.